Would you agree that women are more complicated than men?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, and the short answer, yes, in certain situations.
Are men too simple to understand women, or are women just too complex to be understood?
I think that men are too simple to understand women.
I think that women are too complex.
I just don't think men ask enough questions. Like, I think, like, women are very vulnerable. Like, I think most women I know, like, are going to tell you, like, yo, this is an issue. Like, fix this. Hello, hello, hello. And then, you know, I mean, what do they say? What's the statistics of divorce? Like, 80% of women, like, you know, initiate divorces. And then men are like, oh, my God, I didn't know what happened. Like, bitch, your wife was telling you for the past 12 years, like, what she needed, and you didn't do it. So.
Is it better to be complicated or to be simple?
I think it's better to be complicated. Gives you depth.
Better to be complicated, but in the dating sense, probably better to be simple. Easier to manipulate.
Why is it better to be complicated if it's harder to be understood?
Because when someone can understand you, they understand all those complex parts of you, and then I feel like you get a deeper connection.
Yeah, same here. I feel like there's more to dig into and more layers to uncover, but in the long run, might not work out, but
Yeah.
Women often describe themselves as complicated, emotional, even crazy. Do you think women actually want to be understood?
Yes.
Wouldn't that hold them to a standard?
They kind of do, but they kind of don't. They want to be understood by the guys that they want to be understood by, basically.
It's complicated because we say like we want something, but then we just say that to make you feel like we want something else. Like when our partner is going out to get some food, oh, we don't want any food, but as soon as you come back, you didn't get me anything. You know, so it's basically, it is complicated.
If women were easily understood, wouldn't that hold them accountable?
Yes. Yes.
Wouldn't that make it harder to manipulate?
Yes.
Is there any better manipulation strategy than remaining an unidentifiable threat?
Guilt tripping. That always works.
That is the best tactic you can use, and that's a tactic they use all the time, definitely.
If you understand your woman and you understand why she say the shit she say, do the shit she do, then she can't manipulate you. But if you don't understand why she do the shit she do, then she for sure gonna be able to run circles around you, manipulate you, all types of shit. You feel me? Especially if you're goofy.
Isn't it easier to manipulate somebody if you can just claim that you're crazy and you...
Yeah, oh, definitely, yeah. I feel like it's kind of like when people are like, oh, I'm crazy because this zodiac sign. It's, you know, like, I was like this my whole life. Like, yeah, definitely. And I think some people can fall for it, but it's probably on the other person to be like, all right, I'm not dealing with this person's shit.
Would you want to live with or commit to someone who admits to being crazy?
No, because they're not willing to change. They're just accepting that they're crazy and I'm going to do crazy shit, so you should accept it. And
why do so many women admit to being complicated, emotional, even crazy, and think that's acceptable behavior?
It's today's times. Like, people are just out of their minds nowadays. So it's like, it's accepted by everybody. It's glorified all over the place with media, music, TikTok, internet, Instagram, all that.
That's what they been all their life. You gotta think like, that's just them, you feel me? They don't even, women don't even understand themselves. Sometimes they do something, don't even understand why they did the shit.
How likely are women willing to accept men for just the way men are?
Not at all. A woman wants you to be how she wants you to be type shit, you feel me?
So why should men accept women for just the way that women are?
Cause they women, like, shit, you can't live with them, you can't live without them, for real, for real.
I see it as a way of a woman just making excuses to do whatever they feel like they want.
How likely are women willing to accept men for just the way that men are?
It's rare. It's very rare.
So why should men accept women for just the way that women are?
We shouldn't, but we do.
Who is more shallow, men or women?
Shallow? Can you define shallow? Like,
shallow is you only go for looks, you don't look on the deeper surface.
Oh, shallow.
I hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to say women, low-key.
They are, because men don't care what kind of car women have. They don't care what kind of phone you have. They don't care where you live. Women, they kind of do. Like, they care what.
They're like, well, you're broke?
Like, are you broke? Are you made of money?
Like, is it good looking? Is it tall?
It's women. Women are more gold diggers than men,
like,
I would say.
It, but it's kind of us.
It depends on the context, because sexually, men are known to be more shallow, but materialistically, women are known to be more shallow. But are they? I mean, it really depends on the person, like Emma said.
Yeah, women more shallow for sure. They want attractive, successful, good in bed, money. They want you to do what they say. Men just want you to be pretty and come home.
Are women more shallow because they want too many things, or are men more shallow because they only want one thing?
Men, because they only want one thing.
What are your thoughts on the following expression? A woman wants one man to satisfy her every need, while a man wants every woman to satisfy his one need.
Wow. Wow, that's deep. I don't know. I feel like if both of those are satisfied, then I guess it would make for a good relationship. But at the same time, I don't think that's possible.
Men want the cooch, but men want so much more. They want family. They want, all of that. But they're just not good at showing it. They just wanna show us that they want.
But I mean, wouldn't you say that men are often shamed for being shallow because they just want one thing?
But don't also women only want one thing?
Well, do women want one thing, or do women want a lot
I
of
want
things?
the whole package.
Women want a man. Women want a family, a homemade.
In other words, women want the complete package. They want a man who's going to check all the boxes.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
does that make... Basically, what I'm curious about is, if men and women can both be shallow for completely different reasons, what does it mean to be shallow?
I think being shallow is just only seeing someone at surface level. And I think having preferences is just knowing what you like and what you don't like, and actually just having a high standard for yourself.
Let's say a man is only willing to find a girl attractive if she's blonde, has huge tits, kind of looks like a blow-up doll, right? Like, that's a little bit shallow. Or if a woman is only able to look at a man and be like, okay, abs, hot body, good hair, good teeth, like, I feel like that's a little bit shallow. But your preference, if it's your preference of somebody who's like, okay, I prefer somebody who's on the fitter side, doesn't mean that they have to have a full-on six-pack. It could just mean they take care of their body, they're going to the gym, they're working on themselves. I personally prefer dad bods and be like, oh, daddy. That is my preference. Little snuggle cuddle meat, that's what I like. So, yeah.
Are men more shallow for wanting attractive women, or are women more shallow for only wanting attractive and also successful men?
I think that depends who you talk to and your interpretation of that.
So women aren't shallow for expecting more?
I think everyone's a bit fucking shallow.
And in my previous relationships, I would say that they expect me to be the best version of myself, not just hot. You can get away with being just hot, but you want to be able to articulate yourself and have a conversation with the person, because otherwise the relationship doesn't go anywhere and it's really unlevel.
Being a successful man, right, means you make over 6 figures, you have a nice car, nice house, nice job, and being attractive. Okay, cool, women want that, but that's not always going to bring you your happiness. And with men, because they only want a hot girl, again, that's not going to bring you your happiness, but it's not as shallow, because sure, men are very physical. They want something that's beautiful, and that's what's going to stimulate their mind. Women want some emotional type of connection.
I personally believe to be shallow is that you only looking on the surface. Like, hey, I think you're good looking. I think I can have sex with you and the sex is great. But we don't even have a deeper connection. We cannot even have a conversation. When we argue, it's really, really bad. Like, that's shallow. That's really just looking on the surface of a person, not knowing them for who they are.
I mean, I think like attraction is what initially brings you to someone, but really like personality, humor, emotional connection is what makes you stay around.
Do you think women have the privilege of being more picky because they have more options?
Potentially. I know some picky men though.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think women definitely have that privilege. You go into a woman's Instagram messages and there's 100 men in there, but a guy will be lucky if he hits up 100 girls and maybe 2 get back to him.
Why is it considered a woman's preference to reject a man based on height, but it's considered shallow if a man rejects a woman based on weight?
Is it though? I mean, okay, again, you're asking somebody who is very open, but yes, I do.
I mean, is that a double standard?
It is a double standard because, I mean, the short king movement, right?
What's the thing? What is called weight shaming?
Body shaming.
Body shaming. So shouldn't height size be body shaming too?
Isn't it easier to change your weight than it is to change your height?
Yes.
So
yes.
Wouldn't it be more shallow for women to reject men based on height?
Yeah.
Why do dating apps ask about height but not weight when women have a height preference and men have a weight preference? Is that not a double standard?
Yeah, it is. I kind of feel like the dating apps are kind of like pushing that agenda.
Do you believe that anyone can be in anyone's league?
No.
What does it mean to be out of somebody's league?
You're just not attracted to that type of person. Like, it can be personality-wise, physically, or status. It's just you're not attracted to that kind of person at all. So,
What is pansexual?
I have no idea.
So I don't know the actual definition, but for me, I feel like it means like you love everything and are attracted to everything. You're attracted to a man, to a woman, to somebody who's transgender, like
It essentially
everyone.
means you can be attracted to anybody regardless of gender.
Of gender. Okay, so I kind of got that right? Okay.
Would you assume that pansexuals are the least shallow?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
If you're not pansexual, does that mean that you are shallow?
I'm not sure. I don't completely understand pansexuals, so
What's the difference between pansexual and bisexual?
I've been asking myself that for years. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't know. They're the same thing. They're the same thing. To me, I don't know. I might be wrong. I might be getting canceled for that. I don't know. I'm not sure.
based on what you said, pansexual is like being attracted to all kinds of gender, including non-binary and people who fall outside of the gender. But bisexual is being attracted to people who identify as either male or female.
Do you think sexuality for women is more mental and emotional for women than men?
Absolutely. Yes. I feel like if I'm not in the right mindset, I will not orgasm for the life of me. You can try and you can try and you can try and it will not happen.
So wouldn't that mean that women are more likely to be pansexual than men are?
Absolutely. Yes. I feel like sometimes I got my euphoric experience from somebody who is not a man. And that's totally fine.
Should a man be expected to love a woman for who she is if a woman only loves a man for what he provides?
No, double standard. That's not cool. That's not cool.
No, they should both love each other for who they are. And I mean, sometimes it depends on the age and the dating. Like, some young women only want men for what they have. But like, if they're really serious, then it should be for who they are.
Who is more delusional? The average man holding out for the lingerie model or the average woman holding out for the rich alpha male?
Woo-hoo. I think the average male that's waiting on a lingerie model.
The average man holding out for the lingerie model, because a lingerie model ain't the average woman. You can't be, you feel me?
But can't the man improve himself to the point where he can attract most of the lingerie
Yeah,
women?
he for sure can. He got to get on his shit.
Yes, he can, actually.
So wouldn't that mean that men are better at self-improvement than women?
Yes.
You're right. You're right. He can. Because to women, like those things like how a man looks physically, I guess if he is, if he has money, if he has status, then most women are okay with that. Like, he doesn't have to be very attractive. So yeah, I mean, it could be kind of equal.
So wouldn't that also mean that men are better at self-improvement than women?
For sure. A woman think just because she a woman, that's all she need to have to the table. A man really got to go out there and better himself, better him life, get a car, get a house, get a career. You feel me? So a man for sure go better himself before a woman do.
A woman wants one man to satisfy her every need, while a man wants every woman to satisfy his one need.
That's true. That's true. That's true to some extent. It's not all the way true, but it's mostly true, yeah.
Every woman to satisfy his one need.
Ooh. That sound accurate, though. I'm going to keep it real. That sound real accurate.
Why does a society that tells a man he doesn't deserve a woman when he's broke have any right to tell that man he only deserves one woman when he's rich?
It's double standard. It's like they want you to be down here, right? And then when you get up here, they don't want you to enjoy the fruits of your labor or what you've done or the success that comes or the accoutrements that come with being successful. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if a man, if he's living his best life and making all this money and he wants to be a playboy, like, do what you want to do. I think people's biggest issue is like men want this, like, oh, we want this one woman to be loyal and to come home to and that loves us, unconditionally no matter what, but I also want to go live this double life. I think that's people's biggest issue with men. But if they were honest, I think it would be a totally different story.